Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Animation Appreciation Podcast. I am your host, Liliana Stargazer, and today we will be covering Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Let's get started. This film is one of those classic DreamWorks films that could rival Disney. In fact, many DreamWorks films from my generation are actually mistaken for Disney films. And once again, we have 2D characters in a 3D world, which is not a bad thing. This is actually a mix of 2D and 3D animated works. Mostly the 3D effects actually are interchanged between just the backgrounds and certain characters, such as the animation on the eagle. Someone studied them and all the animals in this film in great detail, and it paid off. They actually talked to horse experts, horse physicians, and basically anyone who specialized in horses or had a great knowledge on horses to learn this movie. I actually watched a review before I actually wrote this script, and it said that this movie is better if you actually ignore the horses talking. My husband actually agreed, so I pointed out that the only reason they actually speak at all is for children. So if the movie had like no horses speaking, actually all of the emotions and everything would hold up, which there is a saying in animation, show don't tell. I actually believe that this was originally a movie for older kids, and the talking animals weren't originally in it, and that the voiceover where we hear the inside of Spirit's head was actually not originally in the film, and they added it later after some test viewings, as far as I can tell. I actually watched the opening to this film twice. Once as is, and then the second time I actually muted it. And yeah, in this particular moment, the voiceover was not needed for every inch of story and emotion to be visible. Can we just talk about the animation on those horses? Woo! The old horse girl in me still loves this. The transition of the mane to grass as well, lovely. Even the tender moment with mom and son as newborn needed nothing but music and song, and the voiceover was just completely frivolous. The animation on their expressions is perfect. Even when the mom looks and sees the icicle stuck in his mouth, you can see her going, "What the heck?" The movie does showcase the only two ways to own anything like a horse. You must either break their spirit so that they obey you without question, or to earn the trust. If the men at the start had earned the trust of the horses and showed their horses that they care, like the Indian had, they wouldn't have had to tie them up at all. But that's how any animal is. Horses are just big and strong, and if they decide they don't want to do something, you really can't make them. There's even a clip online of someone who was walking their horse somewhere, and the horse just stopped, looked down at the human, and then took off like a rocket with the human trying desperately to stop them from the ground. They are bigger than you. They are stronger than you. When they realize this, or if they just decide they don't want to do it, there's not a thing you can do to stop them. Also, kick to the backside and the face that the man in the fort had, he'd be down for the count or dead, much less if he took that head. But horses are once again big, powerful animals, and I can personally tell you that at least one person in my graduating class did not get to walk across the stage because a horse came down on his chest. So, yes, there's nothing you can do to stop a horse. I watched the part of him being tied to the post at night twice, once again, once on mute, once as is. I once again feel the words actually took something from it. The animation alone was so powerful that his words actually seemed to distract from it. Anyone who actually uses spurs on a horse is cruel. They actually hurt an animal. I mean, I live in the South. I've seen people use them for show, but to actually use them to control an animal, that is cruel and animal mistreatment. Then again, so is starving them and not giving them water for 2 days and leaving them in the hot sun tied to a post. So, nah. The military man said, "Break the horse." Lil Creek said he just would ride him. Going by the growth of hair, Spirit was with the Indians for months. Yes, I had to Google. Roughly 6 months to a year as they grow 1 to 1.5 inches per month. Serious quick question. What was the plan when they got the engine to the top? Because those horses, I don't think they could stop them from sliding it down. The water animations in this movie are amazing, and it is a mix of 2D and 3D elements. 3D is the environment in itself, and when it interacts with the animals in particular, that is when it is 2D animated or hand tweaked. When Little Creek sets up the stick, you can actually see the soldier's horse realize it before his rider hits and speeds up. The horse itself literally makes an expression and goes faster to particularly yank him off, is what I meant. This is also shown when the next horse goes under the bridge and slams his rider into the rock overhead. When we have a herd shot, some of the horses are CG, while others are not. Most of them are, though. Having tested it, now that I've seen the entire film by the time I'm writing this part, with the horse's voiceover, I agree it actually takes something away. It's like the movie was genuinely made without the inner thoughts at all, and like kid testers, or more than likely a higher up, said, the kids won't get it, and said, we need to have them tell us what he's feeling, because it's not telling us anything new. It's just explaining his facial expressions, which pretty much everyone understood to begin with. So maybe it's for little kids? I don't know. Also, Spirit was the first time DreamWorks themselves did 3D and 2D together. The opening shot with us following the eagle took a total of 9 months of work to create because of the nature being one continuous shot of landscape and plains and water. So yeah, its simple existence as one long shot took 9 months, not counting the time it took to put a 2D eagle in there. In the shot where we spin around a 360 shot of Spirit up on the hill, that is a 3D and 2D animation blended together seamlessly on just him. And can we just point out that that is one continuous shot? There is no cuts, edits, or anything like that take him out of shot. So that one shot is just him going around, and it is 2D and 3D blended together so flawlessly. Someone had to tell me that that's how it was. That's all I have for Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Thank you for listening, and once again, never forget, if it is animated, someone 100% did it on purpose. Thank you for listening.